Perfect, perfect. So my name is Monique Smith, and I am the one main point of contact for this partnership program with Remax and Zillow for Listing Showcase. And so I'm excited to connect with you guys today. I want this to be very conversational. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to stop me along the way. I live and breathe Listing Showcase all day. So there's probably not any question that I can't answer, but just let me know if you guys have any questions. As far as just an agenda for our meeting, I just want to walk through like just making sure that everybody's account profiles are set up. If you're a team within Remax Platinum, I can show you how to walk through and set up a team as well. We want to just make sure that that's the first step, and then we'll walk through exactly how to showcase your first listing, how to redeem your Remax credits, and then we'll just kind of walk through an example. It sounds like Rob has a property that he can list. So I'll do a live example that we can actually walk through. And again, if you guys have any questions, let me know. We'll leave some time for Q&A at the end, and then we can always schedule some one-on-one time where we can really discuss like best practices on how we can leverage this in all of our listing appointments, because it is a great value proposition that you guys can offer to your sellers going forward. Any questions at the onset before we kind of kick things off and jump in? Any pressing questions that someone just has to ask? If not, we can jump in. All right, perfect. So it sounds like there's kind of a mix. I think some folks have signed in and created their account, some haven't, but I can try to put this link in the chat. Let me see if it will let me do that. If anybody wants to follow along, you guys are more than welcome to. I'll drop this in the chat really quick so you guys can grab this. But this is the link to log in and set up your account. The first step is everybody should log in with their remax.net email. That's how we loaded all of your Remax credits. And we don't have passwords set up for you guys, so you guys would actually have to go in and do the forgot password. And then it's going to email it to your Remax email. Then you can go ahead and just reset it. So fairly simple there. Nope. There we go. So once we get in and you're logged in, you've reset your password, the first step would be to fill out your agent profile. And so you want to go in into your name, like all of your agent information. I would definitely put your email where you want the sellers to contact you, because that's where these inquiries are going to go to as those sellers or buyers, any consumer reaches out to you regarding your listing. I would put in your direct phone number that you want to be contacted as well. And I only mention that because I had one of our Remax partners who entered in her office phone number, and she was trying to figure out why she wasn't getting any calls, and they were all going to agents that were working the floor. So just want to call that out to be sure to enter in the correct phone number that you want to be contacted on. And then, yeah, just fill it out. You don't have to enter any information here where it says California only, but if you have, I'm sorry. Let me stop touching my mouse. If you have a Zillow profile already out there and you want to just copy and paste it, you can add it in here. But this is really kind of your walking billboard on Zillow. If you want to speak more to the list side of your business specifically, whatever you want to say, you can add it into that About Me section. Any questions so far? All right, well, we'll just keep moving along. So once you have your profile set up and created, I would make sure that you save I want to say save updates is at the top. You do want to go in and add your logo, add your photo, add your brokerage name. There's some things that have asterisks. So if you just want to hurry up and try to get your listing live, just make sure that you go through and you enter the information for everything that has an asterisk. And then save those updates, because I had someone who's like, hey, I did this several times. She kept forgetting to save the update. So that's really important. Save those updates, because if we try to go in and create a listing before we set up our profile, it's going to give us an error message and kind of kick you guys back. So then from there should be an option to create new listing. What you want to do first is you want to go in and search by the address. Normally, if you start to type it in, it's going to auto-populate. Add in the address, and then it's going to ask you, let me just see here if it's on the next screen. I think it is on the next screen. Yep. So it's going to ask you the address, and then you want to go in and add the list price, just the drop down. It's just a range. It doesn't have to be exact. You want to be sure that you add the square footage, and I would do the total square footage for the home. And then, if your team, you can set up, you can choose the team that you're on, or the agent, if you set up for teams, you can set up an admin or a coordinator and give them permissions. So I would just make sure if you do have it set up and an admin is going in creating the listing for you, for your team, that they're choosing the agent that they want to associate this listing with. And then from there, the next screen after you get the address and all the property details in there is going to be, you want to obviously create your first showcase listing. So you want to choose the option to say yes. I'm trying to find my cursor here. And then you want to utilize this top option where it says available showcase credits. And the amount is going to vary for everyone for the most part. It may be one if you're a team and you've been allocated multiple. It's really dependent on the roster that was provided to RE/MAX. And then from there, you might see an error message that says LMS only. You can ignore that error message. It's not important. It's not going to hold you up. There should be a button to hit next right after this. I don't see you guys on my screen anymore. I don't know if my settings have changed, but you guys have disappeared from me. So if you guys have any questions, I don't see anyone. So I don't know if anyone's hands are raised, but feel free to come off mute if you guys need.
It looks like we're still good. I'm kind of trying to pay attention to chat for you too.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
Very good so far.
Awesome. All right, we're going to go to the next slide here. And so after you've entered the property information and you've redeemed your credits, depending on your preferred photographer, we do have our own listing media company that is a bunch of W-2 employees that are photographers that work for Zillow. Unfortunately, there's not a ton in the Michigan area. There's a very, very small percentage. So it's probably most likely that you guys won't be able to leverage that. There might be a few property addresses that do cover that area. But for the most part, you want to choose the option that's going to be on the right that says bring your own photographer. And when you choose that option, it's going to open up a new box where it says enter your photographer's name and then enter your photographer's email address. And you want to go ahead and do that. And then right now it says a select media option. As soon as you enter the photographer's contact information, it's going to change the status to awaiting media. And so once it is in awaiting media status, what's going to happen by entering that email address is it's going to send both you and your photographer an upload form. The photographer has to use the upload link in order to get the media into our portal. And as far as the media that's required, just a reminder, of course, we need the high-res photos. We also need the 3D tour and the interactive floor plan. We need all three pieces of media in order to showcase your listing. So some folks are taking their existing listings that maybe have been sitting for a little while and they want to flip them to a showcase. You can, for the most part, use the photos you already have, but you would need to have someone go back out and capture the 3D tour and the interactive floor plan. You pop back up now, Chelsea. I see you came off me. Did you have a question?
Yeah, you did. So I'm actually an assistant for Christine Champlin in our office. She's been trying to work with her photographer. He's willing to do all this and was told he needed to order different equipment through Zillow to be able to do this, which is back ordered. So he hasn't been able to do that. I guess he has a Matterport, which is like the same type of thing, but it won't allow him to do that. So we're kind of at a standstill that we can't do anything with him because of that. So like we're trying to figure out what we can do and how we can let him, upload these and use them.
Yes. So unfortunately, showcase listings aren't compatible with Matterport. The two cameras that it's compatible with is either a Ricoh Theta or Insta360, and it can be any one of those models. I'm not sure which model he's trying to order, but it'd be surprising that every single model is out of stock. Not to say that it's not impossible, but I would just, and you and I can offline if you want to just look at that together. If he's not able to do it, we do have a list of other photographers that are qualified. They're not W-2 employees for Zillow, but they're qualified to capture the media, and we know they have the correct equipment. If you want to go ahead and try to get this, showcase as soon as possible. But we can try to connect, and they don't have to order the equipment through Zillow. At one point, we did have promo codes that would help with, if the photographer or if the agent wanted to invest in the required equipment, but they don't have to order it through us.
Okay. Do you have a list somewhere that says the approved?
Yep. I will send it over to you.
Okay. I appreciate it.
And who was I know you said you're the admin. Who was the agent? Just so I can.
Christine Champlin.
Okay. All right. I'm just making a note here. Well, we will offline and we will get some resources over to you so we can get that going.
Okay. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks.
Any other questions from anyone else? Well. over on photography. Any other questions about the media? If you do want to use your own photographer, they do have to be verified with us. That doesn't cost them anything, but we do have a photography resource center that I can send out to you guys if you guys have any questions about it. It's really simple to get verified. We just want to make sure that they have the right equipment. We will train them on how to capture the 3D tour. They have to download the Zillow 3D Home Tour app and capture the 3D tour on that platform. And then we'll also train them on what's needed in order to capture the interactive floor plan. And then usually that last step in the verification process is just making sure that they're okay with giving us the rights to their media, because we would need that in order to showcase it. All right, I'm gonna keep moving along here. I'm kind of talked through this already, but this is just what it looks like after you click on this button. This is where you would enter the photographer's name and email. And then from there, we do talk through the requirements, but these are the 2 cameras that it's compatible with. These are just some of the tools that are needed from them in order to get everything that's required. We usually send them out a floor marker that's free. It just kind of tells you where to position everything when you're capturing that 3D tour. Tripod is obviously helpful, but I think for the most part, there are some good qualified photographers that we can send your way if you guys need them. Any questions on this before we keep it moving? All right, perfect. If listing media services is available in your area, I can send you guys over the link. The way that you would confirm is you would just enter the property address onto our website, and then it would tell you if we service that area or not. So I can follow up and send that information over to you. But there's several different packages if you wanted to purchase, have our photographer go out and capture the media for you. Our essentials package is really just the 3 pieces of media that you need in order to showcase it. Our pricing is pretty competitive. Normally we can have someone out within the 24 hours and they can, return those photos to you within 24 hours as well. And we have several different packages if you want to do like an a la carte option, maybe some aerial footage, maybe even like an Instagram reel for social media. There's several different options there. This is just kind of a list of some of those options. If you want to do like virtual staging, that is something that we offer as well. If you want to do like the twilight, again, there's not a ton of availability in your area, but for those small pockets, that could be available. Just going to breeze through some of this because it really doesn't apply to many of you guys, but this is just showing you how you can go in and actually book the date and time. You can give the information to the photographer, the instructions on how to get into the property, all that good stuff. And usually they'll send out a confirmation, but we'll just kind of book through that. And then you can choose the form of payment that you want to have loaded for that. And then this is what it's going to look like if you decide to order through our media team, that it'll confirm exactly the date and time that media is going to, like the appointment. And then either way, if you use our media team or if you use your own photographer, once they upload the media, it's going to show here. And you'll be able to go in and actually edit everything, make sure it looks good before you showcase it. And so this is just an example of the email that goes to both you and your photographer. Normally we prefer the photographer to upload the media. Whoever has the rights to the media, we usually want them to upload it just because they have to check a box acknowledging that they released that media to us. And then the way that it works is, we submit that photographer's email address. They'll go through the training if this is a brand new photographer that's not already verified with us. Once they upload the media, then you go in and you view everything before you showcase it. Sorry, I feel like these slides are a little redundant. We're just going to kind of speed through some of this stuff. I think I'm talking faster than these slides are going, but we'll get into showcasing or like editing your showcase listing. So once the media has been uploaded into our system, it's going to update the status to processing media. And so it takes anywhere from 4 to 24 hours for that media to process, because we're going to go in and we're going to make sure everything looks good and is packaged and presented well when it's actually showcased on Zillow. So when it's in that processing media phase, I would just build that into the timeline, because the best order as far as the steps to getting your showcase listing live would be to come here first, redeem your credit, associate the property address that you want to have showcased, And then maybe when it's in this media phase, then I would go to the MLS, load everything. Don't turn it on yet in the MLS just yet, because we want to make sure that everything looks good in our portal and that it's in the ready to view stage. Once it's in ready to view and you've made all of your edits, I'll walk through that here in just a second on how you can edit it. Then we want to go to the MLS and either flip it to coming soon or active or whatever that status is. And if you do coming soon, as long as your MLS supports it, then we support it as well.
Hey, Monique, can I ask a question?
Sure.
So you go into the showcase and then you say, hey, I'm going to do this with this property. How long do you have before you have to go active with that listing?
Yep. Yeah. 45 days from the date that you initiate the credit. So that's
Great.
great.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
so say like it's May, I don't know how many days are in May? It's the
31,
last day.
31 days.
Yeah, it's the last day in May and you got 2 listings coming in June because we all got 1 credit each month. Hey, add that address in on that last day so that then you can get your showcase and then use your next one for the next one, right?
Absolutely. Then you can,
Okay.
and you can have multiple listings live at the same time. So that's not an issue. It's showcased for the life of the listing. So if it goes pending or if it goes contingent, whatever that status is in MLS, it syndicates through to us on Zillow, and it's still going to have that showcase treatment. I actually have a lot of partners that are flipping their pending listings to showcase because it's going to be, it's maximum exposure for that listing. And then listing showcases usually attract more sellers. So it's just a win-win for you guys.
So don't
But
feel like, don't feel like you can't use one of these showcases in May because your listing's in June. Get that address in there.
exactly. You can use it up to the 31st, but it doesn't roll over. To Rob's point, it does expire, but that is a way that you can kind of work around it. Or even if you have one maybe coming live in July, you can wait till the very end of June to use your June credit for July. So just some ways to kind of work around those parameters. But great call out. So yes, here we're going to get into the things you can do in terms of editing. So just some kind of best practices in terms of editing your listing. I would always come in here, and this isn't really automated in full transparency. It's a very new product. So you don't get like notifications when the stages change, when the media is uploaded. You got to just kind of watch it for right now. But when it is up and ready to view, you want to choose your carousel images. So these are the images that as soon as you land on the show, on the listing on Zillow, they're swiping through on that homepage. And I would do this. You need at least 3 for it to rotate through, but you can have up to 5. I had a partner who they had boxes in the basement, and that was the first photo that they saw, and they didn't know how to edit it. So I would just make sure that you go into edit listing and change or add what photos you want to be on that carousel. And then you can also go into the featured rooms and choose what rooms you want to have featured on the listing page. So if you want the kitchen to be first, you can kind of just drag and drop these. If you want the primary room to be first, however you want it, and then you can go in, if you click into the featured rooms, you can see all of the different featured rooms and you can move things around. And then I would just save those settings and then you can showcase it. Any questions on the editing and just kind of the steps for this to be a seamless flow? Pretty straightforward, huh? Okay, I guess I'm doing a good job if you guys have no questions. We're gonna keep it moving. So as far as just showcase, the activation, just some best practices. Again, try to do everything in our portal first and then go to the MLS, because if everything looks good in our portal and it's in the ready to view phase, when you flip the switch on the MLS, it's gonna automatically move to live on Zillow. That is if it's a brand new listing. If it's a listing that you already have existing and you're flipping it to a showcase, you have to go back into the portal and actually move it to live on Zillow. And through that IDX feed, that syndication with Zillow and the MLS, it's going to override the media that's out there. So still go to the MLS and load all of the media, everything that you normally would. The only thing that our portal does in terms of overriding is just from a media standpoint. All right, perfect. Any other questions? I know we have a few minutes left. I can go through your listing, Rob, and show you guys how easy it is.
If you want to give it a try, let's do it.
Yeah, let's see. Or if you want to share your screen, because I don't have the access to log in on your behalf, I can
Oh,
walk you
crap.
through it.
I'm gonna look. I can't type very well. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, let me close all the inappropriate. No, I'm kidding. I do want to close these other windows though. 1 second.
No worries. While you're working on that, does anybody have any other questions, thoughts, concerns, comments? Has anybody had a live showcase listing and had any question? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Kevin.
we've done 5 so far.
Oh, nice. How did they do?
Awesome. We were one of the early adopters when they first rolled it out in January in
Perfect.
Michigan. And so we've been on it for a long time, but I'm always willing to come to these to see if I can pick up any new tips and tricks. You've been very helpful though. Thank you. Very, very simple. It's actually quite a simple system you guys have. So
It really is. We try to make it easy.
and it's been effective for us. For our listings, we do find we get a lot more views and showings and comments of people. Hey, I wasn't even looking in that area, and I thought, wow, what a pretty house! I should go see it.
Yeah, the most recent stat is 20% of showcase listings usually go pending within the first 14 days, and they usually sell for 2% higher. So I think those are
those are good stats. So you got a link to those stats?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna send you. Have you been on our Agent Resource Center, Kevin?
I have.
Okay.
I've probably actually seen those, but you guys keep coming up with new stats. There was one where you said 20% more views or something a while back, and then that disappeared.
Oh, it's even higher than now. It's like 75% more page views, 68% more saves, 75% more shares. But I'll send that over to you. I'd love to know like how you're presenting this to your sellers. So maybe we can offline and talk through that.
Oh, I just show one of my last ones and they're like, where do I sign up?
It just speaks for itself, huh?
It does. It really, you have to implement it. You have to, like you showed, you have to choose which pictures you're using and where they are in your carousel.
Absolutely.
We like to say it's a little like a dating app. You know, people mostly look at the first 3 pictures and then swipe up. If they don't see anything interesting on your particular listing, showcase or not, you know, they're only looking at the first few pictures. So you got to make your money shots your first 3 pictures.
Absolutely. Yep, it's your advertising. Okay, Rob, I'm sorry. I see you have.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I'm ready. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So do you want me to start doing it, or you want to walk me through?
Okay, I'll walk you through it just for the purpose of the video. If you want to go ahead and click on new listing at the top, and then go ahead and enter the property address. It should auto-populate halfway through. Yep. And then you want to, choose the list price drop down and the square footage.
Oh man.
And I can try to pull it up for you too. Let's see.
Hold on. Here's the old one.
Oh.
Oh, above ground 1008.
Perfect.
Got it. And then next.
Yep, next. And then you want to choose the default at the top that says yes. And then where it says choose your payment option, you want to use your remaining credit. If you pause for just a second on this, right before you hit purchase, if you do have additional credits, or excuse me, additional listings that you want to showcase outside of the Remax allocation, you can come in here and add your payment method, and you can, purchase additional showcase listings outside of what's been allocated to you. And that's just based on the list price of the home. It's kind of a tiered situation. So if it's a $300,000 home or under, it's going to cost you $300 to showcase a listing. And I can send that over to the team so that you guys have that as well.
Great.
Yep. Okay, you're good to hit purchase.
Is there any discounts given to Remax going forward after this?
There's a 50% discount if you guys want to do. So the way that our pricing is set up, it's a 6-month. I can't talk today. It's a 6-month base subscription, and so it's subscription based. So you can do 1 showcase listing a month. And there's a 15% discount that we're extending to Remax on the pricing, and it varies from anywhere from around 300 to 500. And with that discount, it can be as low as 270 or 255 a month. So that's if you just want to showcase 1 home a month, or if you do a lot of listings and you want to have more credits, you can do anywhere from 5 to 50 listings per month, and there's different pricing structures within that. But it's better if you do multiple listings a month to do the bulk pricing, because let's just say you have $1 million listing, it would cost around $950 to showcase that 1 home. But if you have a credit, it doesn't matter the list price of the home. You can just use your credits.
Okay.
But yes, there is a discount. A long way to answer your question.
Great. All right, so submit, right?
Yes, go ahead and hit submit. And then you want to choose the option to use another photographer.
I was going to use your photographer. I think Ann Arbor has one.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and click on it and let's see. This is a great exercise. Awesome. Perfect. So this is our listing media services website. It looks like it is available in the Ann Arbor area. So if you wanted to do just the essentials package, that's just going to give you exactly what you need to showcase the property. And then these are the add-ons if you're interested.
I was going to do one virtual for his living room.
Perfect.
And that's all I want to do, I think. Okay.
Awesome. So then, yep, you want to hit next step. And then it should tell you the availability. Yep. Gonna make you a little bigger.
Let's
Yep.
go with Monday
Perfect.
at 11 a.m.
Awesome. Yep. And then you can enter like the access details and any specific notes.
The homeowner will be there.
Yep. Any notes that you have for the photographer.
Just make sure he does the living room for the virtual staging.
Perfect.
That's about it. I don't really have anything else I need.
Awesome. You're good to hit next step.
Don't look at my credit card stuff, guys. You know what? I think I do have to type in my credit card information.
I was gonna say maybe you stop sharing for a
Yeah,
second.
at this point, I'm done.
Perfect.
So it was that simple, though.
Perfect. Yeah. The next step after you enter this information is you'll see where the appointment is scheduled over to the right, and then it's going to say awaiting media. So our team, once they capture the media, they'll upload it to the portal. You go in, make sure everything looks good as far as edits, and then go to the MLS. Once you push it live or coming soon, it's automatically showcased. So easy peasy. Any questions for me, guys?
No, that was excellent. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, yes, Kevin, I would love to connect with you since you're already seeing success. I'm happy to share some other best practices. I work with agents nationwide, and we're always leveraging best practices on how, to make this a really successful marketing tool for you guys, because Listing Showcase really is more of a massive marketing tool to attract more sellers and, of course, more buyers in your network to build your business out from there.
Oh, yeah. If people have a chance, they should check out our Allen Park listing. It's currently live, but we're going to be pending. It's 2983 Vine Road in Allen Park, Michigan. It's a good representation of what a showcase home listing looks like, when you do it up nice. And also Allen Park's a very, very densely populated city. So it also shows how the showcase listing sort of shows up when you go to the map. The showcase listing stands out, and when you click on it, you get something that looks completely different from everything else. So it's been especially effective when you're listing a home in a market where there's, a very, very densely populated market, and there's a lot of homes that are for sale, especially if they're very similar to your home.
Absolutely. It's a great way to differentiate what you can offer in a market. So I love that you're using it and that you're seeing great results with it. I'm going to put my contact information in the chat.
Yep.
Just
I
so
have
that you
your email. I think I received your information already. We've just been busy.
No worries. No worries.
But yes, definitely we'll connect, and I always look forward to improving our current practices. So
Awesome.
okay, I got
Awesome.
that. Thank you.
Perfect. And I put that out there for everyone. So if anyone wants to copy and paste it, feel free. Sorry,
If
Robert.
anybody wants, I mean, Monique, she's here, she's ready. She wants to do the one-on-ones and get everybody going. Monique, do you have your Calendly link that maybe we can throw in there?
I absolutely do. Yes.
That way the people on the recording and stuff can get into that too.
Yes. and please schedule time with me. I am here as a resource to you guys. Again, I'm the main point of contact for all listing showcase for this Remax partnership. So my calendar is always up to date. I'm available. You guys can call me. I've walked several people through this over the phone. And so again, I live and breathe this. So I'm happy to help in any way I can.
Awesome. Is that it? Are we done?
Yeah, that was all that I have for you guys.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much. We all at Remax Platinum really appreciate it.
No problem at all. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you,
All right.
Monique.
Thank you.
Oh, Chelsea, did you have a question or?